Hello lovely viewers, it's good to come your way once again for another edition of Build It Well. My name is Irama Asara. As usual, we bring you all the tidbits, all the do's and don'ts you need to know about building and construction. And this week I have a very interesting topic to discuss with you. So stay with me. When I come back from the break, the show continues. Welcome back from the break. Thanks so much for tuning in. You're watching Build It Well with me, Irama Asari. As I told you earlier, today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. We are going to look at the factors to consider when choosing building materials with the focus on cost. Building materials constitute about 60 to 70% of all your building and construction work. So it means it plays a very vital role when it comes to building and construction. So today I'm fortunate to be at a site located at Jolu here in Accra. It is Tower Cascades. Yes, and I would like to meet the principal architect in charge of this beautiful edifice. Her name is Agnes Ofosiapia. She is here to help me break down costs when it comes to building and construction. Let's go and meet her and start our discussion. Once again, welcome to Build It Well.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is a very lovely site you have here. I'm sure it's one of the many sites you're working on. Tower Cascades. Can you give me a brief about it?
Okay, so Tower Cascades was envisioned as a minimalist, monochromatic apartment block. It's 10 floors with one floor sub-basement for parking. And each floor has 3 apartments. Some are 2 bedrooms, some are 3 bedrooms. And we've been working on it on site we've been on it about 2 years. By the end of this year, we expect to complete. Yeah.
Is it on sale now?
Yes, the client is selling some, as I'm aware. And so if you want to buy, you can sign up. I'm sure they'll be happy. And it'll be a nice place to live.
In the heart of Accra. Okay, so one thing I noticed when I walked in here is the quality of tiles you used, and that draws us closer to the topic for today. Factors to consider when choosing materials for construction. Can you tell me why you decided to go for such materials, and did you consider the cost involved?
Okay. So cost is important in every project, whether it's personal or it's a commercial project like this. With this project, we chose materials based on the concept. And so I mentioned a clean, minimalist, monochromatic building. That was the driving idea. And with that, we then chose different kind of materials. The floors are natural slate. Slate because, well, it's natural. And so that's great, which also re-emphasizes durability because it's natural stone. It's most likely it's indestructible. It will last a long time. But additionally, the color matches with our color scheme. The ceilings are made with plasterboard. We choose plasterboard because, well, it is easy to work with. It's durable. If you need to access the ceiling or there's any damage to it, it's to cut out the damaged portion and replace that portion and fix it. The alternative would have been POP, but I don't use it often because it's heavy. And so if you have to access the ceiling, you may have to break whatever area it is and then redo it, and it will come with dust, and you don't want to have the occupants of the space being inconvenienced when there's something wrong, if there's something wrong. And so we would go with plasterboard.
Considering the quality of materials used, as I said earlier, I know you also considered the cost involved, and we know the cost of building materials keep going up each and every day. So how were you able to marry that to get the quality you were looking for?
Well, a couple of factors. There maybe in procurement, finding the best quality at the best price. That'll be one thing that you look at. But also trying to find things that are closer to you so that you don't have to travel far and wide to get that one thing, because in the end, travel cost, if it's transport or shipping, all of those add up to adding to the cost of the material, which in turn will add up to adding up to the cost of the project. So things like that are considered as well. There are standards for quality that we look at. Usually maybe British standards for all our socket switches, things like that. And so once you have that as a standard, as a guide, then these things are the things that you would look at. You know, maybe these 5 sets of things have this standard, and then I can source them from A, B, C, or D, and then those are then what influences what your selection ends up becoming.
So that is what influenced their selection. You're still watching Build It Well. We pause here for a quick breather. When the show returns, we have more to discuss. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. I'm still here with Agnes, and she's helping to break down costs when it comes to building and construction. Okay, I want to find out how do I reduce costs when building?
So, in summary, things that you can do to make sure that you build at a lowered cost. Get an expert. In selection of your site, find sites that have fewer problems in as much as possible, because if it's a waterlogged site, you end up doing more to stabilize it before, which means that's a lot of money going any which way. Then once you have an expert, you have an idea of what your design is. Take advantage of what you find in your locality. As mentioned before, the things closest to your site are the things that you most likely should use, so that it reduces the additional cost that comes with transportation. Sometimes though, on the type of site you have, you may find materials that you could be used. So for instance, if you built in a mountainous area, there are stones that are used for building. You could use what is on your site rather than going to bring stones from somewhere else. If you chose to use materials like, say, rammed earth, depending on the laterites found on your site, you can use rammed earth instead of doing the concrete block that everybody is using. And that would reduce cost of that additional cost incurred from transporting items onto the site. So that's a way that you can reduce costs. And then also making sure that you are building to best standards. Best practice is the best way, because you know that there's a way to do something, and this is the shortest possible way for something to be done to get to the best quality. And if you follow things like that, you should be able to bring the cost of your building to a reasonable cost, I think.
Okay, so in short, get the professional to do quality work for you, so you will not waste money, you save a lot, and you get the best out of your building. You're still watching Build It Well with me, Irama Asari. We pause here for another break. When I return, we have the What Do You Have segment.